For generations, the Disney princesses have inspired girls and women all around the world. Their kindness, bravery, compassion, determination, curiosity, intelligence, and inner beauty have inspired others to follow their dreams. Some of those dreamers decided to fulfill their dream of becoming real-life princesses and creators of magic. We became party princesses, and these are our stories. Meet Onuté, a princess who feels like she's your long-lost princess sister. Hi, Blondies! So, welcome back to Happy Blonde. I know I've missed party princess videos for the longest time ever, but not anymore, because today I am here with the owner of Onuté Princess Parties. This is a royal that I have been looking up to for the longest time ever, and she's here with me today, and she is just fabulous. So go ahead, introduce yourself.
Oh my gosh, hi everybody. Thank you so much for having me. It's an honor to be on your channel because I look up to you. So it's so funny. Hearing you say that, I'm like, oh my gosh, like maybe it's just me who has like huge imposter syndrome, but I'm like, oh my goodness, I look up to so many people and you're one of them. And I've watched your like dance videos, which are awesome. You put out so much content and your company is amazing, and I'm so excited to talk to you. I hope this is like a back and forth a little bit too, because I know that I'll be answering questions, but I want to hear a little bit from you too and what you're doing, because girl, learning never stops.
Of course, we are, see people, this is why I love the princess community, because we are all just like bright balls of energy, which I love. So let's start a little bit about you. Tell me about your journey as a party princess performer.
Yeah, so I know we were just talking, I had my first ever princess party in 2010, aka 100 years ago, and it wasn't even like a real actual like princess like in a story or movie. It was just like a old prom dress. And my friend in high school, I was a sophomore in high school, and she was like, hey, like, do you want to do this for like my cousin? And I'm like, sure. And so I just remember it made such an impact on me, because the kids, even though I wasn't even like a real character, they're like, they believed we were real princesses. And I'm like I don't know if you just saw the picture I sent you, but like
It's so it changes your life. It honestly does. You never think that a character would have such a big influence on kids until you actually work the job.
It's incredible. So that was kind of like the door opening to like a whole world of possibilities for me, pretty much. I always focused on like acting and theater. Even in my adult life, that's what I was pursuing, but I found the princess parties as a sophomore, and then on my junior year, I'm like, I wonder if this is a thing. Like, I'm gonna look up and see if there's like a job that actually offers that. So I actually found the lady on Craigslist.
Oh
And
no.
I know, right? I know. And I had my friend come with me at the time, because I'm like, okay, I hope I don't get murdered. Like, I hope this is real. And sure enough, we like met up with the lady, and she like right off the bat, like gave me a princess costume, gave me a wig, you know, and just like I was thrown into the industry just like that. So once 2011 hit, I was like doing princess parties every single weekend for like multiple parties a weekend. It was a lot, but that's how I started. And then I worked with that company for like 7 years, which was such a long time. I know. And then I left her company in 2018, focused on my acting, and started my own company in 2019. So, and yeah, so here we are now.
That is wonderful. I love that. And you started out strong, like multiple parties a weekend, like starting out. Oh my God, that is a hassle. All right, so you started up your company back in 2019, which is so cute, because it's like a baby company. I love meeting other baby companies just like mine. And we already know you wanted to start your own thing, but where does the name Onuté Princess Parties come from?
Well, it's because every time I would introduce myself to someone new, I would tell them my name, which is Onuté, and then they'd be like, what? Like every time they're like, I'm sorry, what was it? So what I started to say, this was like in college even. It took me a few years to like figure out something to say that will remind them of my name. So I'll always say, oh, it's Onuté, like a new day, but with a T. So after that, people would just always remember my name because it was just, you know, unique and like they didn't hear it. And I'm from Lithuania, so I was born and raised in a different country, and we all have different names there. So I know that it can be difficult to remember something like that here. So when I started my company, I literally wrote down like 50 names. I'm like, okay, like ever after princess parties, pretty princess parties. And then I just realized going down the list, I'm like, okay, this is already a company. This is already a company. I don't know if I like this one. And I just realized that I should make it something that's personal to me. You know, maybe something that even is like a little story. So I named it A New Day because it's after myself, and also the first three letters of my dad's name. His name is Andreas, or Andy. So he helped me. He was the first person to help fund my company and help me buy the costumes and stuff. So yeah, it's pretty much just named after me and my family, kind of. And yeah.
I love that. I was actually wondering where your name was from, and I just got my answer. I love that. And so creative as well. Wonderful.
Yeah.
All right. So, as a baby company, we obviously have a lot of goals at the same time. I don't know if you relate to me, but you want to do this and that and this and that, literally all at once. But what would say is your greatest goal for your company? That one goal that you're like, you know, it's going to take me years maybe to even get there, but I don't care.
That's so funny you say that, because I'm struggling currently with that. Like, I like doing so many parts of the job that, well, first I kind of started because I love performing. Like, I was like, what can I do that's like all my passions? I love acting. I love singing. Dressing up is cool too. I love kids so much. And so that was like that. This job is like, oh my gosh, this is like perfect for me. This is like everything that I love all in one. And wait, I forgot where was I going with that? Oh, it's all the things that I want to do. Yeah, so basically there's so many things that I still want to do now. And I'm like, okay, so I've got the performing down after being in the industry for like, this is the 11th year, I guess. It's been a long time. So even though my company is new, I've you know, been definitely around the block in the industry, but I'm struggling right now with like, what should I focus on? Because now as a business owner, which I didn't know anything about business or entrepreneurship before going into it, I was just like, I love it. And maybe I can hire a few girls. And so now being the third year in business, with 2020 kind of being a wash, I know for all of us, I'm like, I have to focus on the actual business side of things. So there's marketing, there's like customer service, there's finance and accounting and bookkeeping and like insurance stuff, legal stuff. And it's like, oh my goodness. So what I wanted to say to anyone that's starting a company is it's okay to delegate, and it's okay to ask questions and ask other people, and to also hire services here and there to help you, you know, get yourself on the right track. Because you can't do it all yourself, you know, and when you put all of that on your shoulders, you can be working towards something every day, but if you don't know what that goal is, it's like you can get overwhelmed really quickly. So it's actually kind of where I am right now. So it's funny you say that. But a goal / dream that I have for my company is to open up a venue someday, to invest in a property, fix it up and make it all very themed, maybe like castle-like or something like that, and just host birthday parties and events there. So maybe even do like princess balls in my own big venue. Maybe rent out my venue to other companies too who are looking for something like that, and maybe help them with that. Maybe be a manager, or help other company owners or other performers that want to do something bigger, but maybe can't afford like a big space that's like $2,000, because that can be a lot. And also help with like guidance. So I just want to give back. I want to give back to my community. I want to give back to the kids and the parents, you know, offer something for my community where they can come in if they can't afford to go to Disney World, or if they can't even afford to have, you know, a professional princess come to their home, because that costs money too. you know, I just want to do something that everyone can get a little like taste of magic, and also for the performers too, because I know that it's hard out there and it can be super confusing. So if I can provide any insight or use my abilities and use my skills and knowledge to just help anyone I can, I think that's just kind of where I'm heading towards. But I still have to make like a rough plan of everything, because right now I just feel like I'm working, and you know, I'm not really sure what I'm working towards. Right now I'm just working on growth in general and just providing for the community and giving back.
I love that. I literally got chills because that's exactly a goal that I have. I want my venue someday. Same thing, offer classes and events and all that kind of fun stuff. Have kids
Yeah.
running around. I absolutely love all that. So it's great. I know I'm gonna be visiting a lot of venues in the future.
Yeah.
Like I'll literally do a princess tour, just hopscotching on venues for different royals.
Gosh.
We're going up from here, and I totally get it, the fact about the working because that's what happens, I think, like after your terrible twos but before your fives, like that in between is just that I'm gonna work until I grow kind of period, and then, you know, start going different places. I totally get it. The whole delegating thing is happening to me right now. I used to be I used to be friends with so many princesses, and right now I just hired 2 new girls and I delegated a lot of performers. So I'm literally just doing Rapunzel, Ariel sometimes, Elsa sometimes, and that's literally it. And that is such a big change from when you're doing literally everything to just looking at everything flow in front of your eyes. It's so
Yeah.
different.
Congratulations. That's amazing.
Thanks so much. And that actually leads me to my next question. Why do you think casting is important? Because I know that is a very big like debate in the community. Why do you think casting is important?
It's funny because I don't see it as a debate at all. I think casting is just one of the things that will make or break your company. I mean, just like we were talking earlier, you can't do everything by yourself. You know, like I totally wish there was like 15 more Onutés and we could all just like, you know, take over the world. But that's not true. You have to learn how to make use of your time. And that means hiring other people, training them, doing stuff behind the scenes, because you have to book the parties, you have to book the events, market them. There's so many responsibilities as a business owner, especially when you have your own small business. So having a cast that represents your company in the way that you want it to be represented is everything. It's really hard finding the right people. I will say, there can be like 30 people that show up for an interview, and I'll probably hire 1 or 2, and still you don't know where it's going to go. So I think it's just a constant work in progress, just like anything. I'm a true believer that you have to constantly be learning, you have to constantly be teaching. And when you find the right people that are passionate and really love doing that, you know, love doing princess parties and love kids, once you find someone and you can help them with their own dreams, then they'll be a good like worker, they'll be a good performer, they'll be just there for you and help you with your business, because I see my business as a stepping stone for all my performers. This is not like the end all be all. This is not the goal. This is just something I can offer them to help pay through college, to help them, you know, hone in on their skills, or like for me, doing just all the things that you love in one.
Absolutely. I totally get it. And that's actually like what I really stand for. I do think that your cast can definitely make and break a company. And when you reach that level of professional and a trust, I'd say, my girls literally just became a family. They're all princess friends, and you see that when they're working, and they love to work. You know that you found a great cast when they literally just they forget that they need to be paid. Oh
yeah, when you can create that atmosphere,
yeah.
when you like, that means you're a really wonderful boss, because you are tuning into what they want and what they need, not just what you need and you want for your company. It's like if the mutual respect and the mutual needs and wants are there, then you're doing a great job.
Absolutely. I believe that's that, and you can definitely see it even in pictures. You know when a company is like really tight and everything just flows. Your pictures are beautiful and you can see it in double parties and stuff and events. So I
Mhm.
absolutely love that. And speaking
Yeah.
of princesses, which is, because I know that this is a very hard question for a lot of people, which is
Yeah.
your favorite princess and why?
I feel like it changes. Does it change for you?
Actually, for me, it doesn't. It changed when I was little because I used to love
Really?
Aurora as a child, and then Rapunzel came along and just created a
Did
mental
you rock your
confusion.
world?
She did. She created a mental confusion for me until one day I just looked at my mom and she's like, Shirley, you resemble Rapunzel. You have a lot from Rapunzel. So I don't know why you're battling this. Just say she's your favorite. And well, now she's my obsession.
Oh, that's amazing. You are the perfect Rapunzel. And I feel like your personality matches her so well too. um, but my favorite princess, I didn't grow up around Disney or princesses at all. We were very poor growing up, and I guess the only thing we really watched while in Lithuania was like maybe Teletubbies. But until I got to the States, I think the first princess movie I ever saw was Cinderella because we got like the VHS Cinderella movie. But I wasn't like, oh my gosh, I love princesses. Like, I think my love of princessing only started when I started working as a princess, because I got to know these characters really well, and I never had the chance to do that. So my first princess that I really loved, I would say, was Belle, because of who she is on the inside. Um, she's so beautiful on the outside, of course, but the fact that she can see people for who they are on the inside was like that's who I am at my core. I'll never judge you for what you look like, and you know what I mean? Like the real thing that matters is your heart. And she was the one that kind of made that really apparent. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. But now once Frozen came out, I think Anna rocked my world, and she's my favorite right now. So especially Frozen 2, where she's a queen now, and she's so fun and bubbly and goofy and like makes jokes, but she can be serious, she can be strong, she can be a queen, she can be a leader. And I feel like that's kind of the best of both worlds, and what I kind of aspire to be, like a good person, caring and kind and soft and gentle, but also strong when you need to be. And yeah, so I think she's my favorite right now.
I was actually going to say, you resemble Anna a lot. Just because of that bright, peppy personality that I want to be your friend. Let's just go hang out. Let's just, I love that. I
Come
love it.
visit me. Come visit me.
Oh my gosh, do not tempt me because I would just arrive there. I'd be like, yes, princess hangout. I absolutely love it. All right. And that actually brings me to my last question, which I always ask this because I always love the different responses that I get, which is that today's world is like, it's kind of wonky and, it has its ups and its downs very, very much. And a lot of good qualities and values and manners have been lost. What do you think is a necessary modern princess quality to have?
It's definitely a different world now than it was even a year ago. So, well, I actually wrote a few things down, so I'll share with you. These are more kind of like outlooks as well. To answer the question, short answer, I would say safety right now is probably of the utmost importance. So just if you're a business owner, especially, keep up with, what your government is saying on safety, because we work with kids, we work with families, and the last thing we'd want to do is hurt them in any way, or like, you know what I mean, spread things and stuff. I'm not going to say the dreaded word, but you know what I mean. Just being safe right now, I feel like is the most important. But in terms of outlook, the qualities that I think would be really important is, my number one thing was know your strengths and weaknesses, because we all have strengths and we all have weaknesses. So it's important to realize those too and play on that. So if your strength is, performing and like doing the actual events, and your weakness is like the business side of stuff, then have somebody help you with that. So that way your business can run most efficiently. I personally hate finance. I'm so bad with numbers, of course, as like a performer and like theater person. I'm like, I hate math. I don't get it. So it's important to have someone else help you with that and make sure that you're on track. So know what you're good at, and even more importantly, know what you're bad at so that you can have someone help you with it. And then the second thing I know I mentioned earlier too is delegate. So if you are bad at something, delegate those things. Because I was always like, I want to do everything myself. I want this to be my thing. I want to feel like I accomplished all of it by myself. Like, I don't know, always had that mentality growing up for some reason.
That independence mentality that we all have and grow. And it's very, very hard to let go of.
It really is. It's so hard. So, I mean, I'm 28 years old and I'm working on that right now. Like, realizing that I need outside sources in order to help make my business better and me better. And, so, and then the last thing is knowing that you are enough. This business is it can be a lot about looks and what you look like, the princess costumes, the dresses, they're hiring someone in costume to come and, make magic for your family. So it's important to not get too sucked into social media or looking at other companies and what they have, because that's just going to completely rob you of your own happiness, of your own motivation, of your own accomplishments. Everyone has to start somewhere. And I fell into that too myself. Trust me, like there's so many beautiful things online, and sometimes it's easy to just be like, oh my gosh, why can't I be like that? Or, oh my gosh, why don't I have that? And it's like, no, you should only compare yourself to you and who you were yesterday. If you can do something today that makes you a better person than you were yesterday, that's all you should look at.
Absolutely. I absolutely love that. And that is so, so true. You can upgrade with time. I think that's something that a lot of people in the community have forgotten. It's one thing to obviously show bad quality, because there are companies out there who just want to show bad quality and that's it. But if you just genuinely don't have the budget, but you have the drive and the passion for it, start from the bottom, work your way up and see your growth. The best thing about this thing is literally to see where you started and where it got you years later. And it's simply amazing. All right,
Yeah.
so this has been an awesome interview. That is all for today for my blondies. Remember to follow not only myself on social media, but also this lovely, lovely woman and her company. Everything will be linked down below, and I'll see you all in the next one.